31 when the sun goes to rest. It's the night of Halloween when fun is at its best. As we say farewell to gloom, Mrs. Sweet rides a broom. Every pumpkin round the place becomes a funny face. Dressed in white, the spirits howl, goblins prowl here and there. Off the shelf come tiny elves, better beware. Christy jack-o'-lanterns glow everywhere that you go. There is fun for everyone, October 31.
Welcome to the Cemetery Gates podcast featuring Xander Kane and Android Virus.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Cemetery Gates podcast. I am Android Virus, aka Aaron, with my illustrious co-host Mr. Xander Kane, in our trilogy of Halloween movies that we've, or not Halloween
episodes.
Trilogy of episodes this month, in reviewing some movies that we think deserve more love. So you were talking about gypsies.
Yeah, so before we got on here, Aaron was talking about having to escort a young lady out of a bar because she was too drunk, and then how his pregnant daughter did not engage to this woman that was hitting you. And so it made me think of was a show called Gypsy Sisters, and it follows like gypsy travelers in the U.S. and they, just kind of follow their traveling lifestyle or whatever. And there's an episode where like these families are feuding, and all of these gypsies all these female gypsies, all these wives and daughters get in this like RV and basically drive over to this other family's house. And on the way there, they're talking about how one of them is pregnant. Just talking about that. And then lo and behold, they get there and start fighting, and the pregnant girl comes out and tries to start fighting, and the other girl just starts fucking decking her in the mouth like 4 or 5 times. And then they get back and they leave, and like they do the interviews to the camera, and the girl is like, all I remember thinking was, well, her face ain't fucking pregnant. She just literally just got punched her in the face. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so, last night.
Good on your daughter not taking that approach.
Yeah, and I get the whole story came together in about a half hour. And I'm like, what? Really? For that? And it happens when you introduce alcohol and jealous girls over a lead singer.
They call that lead singer's disease.
Yeah, lead singer's disease for sure. My wife always brings up LSD. Yeah, LSD. But yeah, it's like, what? My daughter's like, I don't get it. And I was like, yeah, little groupies in training. And what's funny is the singer's girlfriend that was there, you could tell they'd probably been together for a long time, and he's kind of outgrown her because she's still kind of whatever. You wouldn't picture a girl like her with him. Short hair, kind of awkward. And, you got like 2 different girls talking to him. And it was the girls with short hair's cousin who attacked the girl who was talking to him. She's like, I don't even know who that bitch is. She goes up and starts hitting her in the face, got separated. I don't know. It was crazy. It was a whole Jerry Springer episode, and I was Steve Wilkos. That's all I know.
That's who you were for Halloween. You was Steve Wilkos.
Yeah. And then my buddy Short Bus was there. He used to be a bouncer at the Launch Pad, which is kind of a famous local bar here that does pretty hardcore bands. And he's separating stuff. As I'm on he's on, I can't let my brother fucking do this on his own. I was like, thank you, sir. You have fucking, I just have kids. You have experience in this. So yes, it was an awesome Halloween party. A little bit more wild than the one I threw at my house last year, but I'm glad it was thrown over there and not here.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Rachel's like, fuck yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much, bands. It was in a controlled environment, but not. I don't know. Hurt my wrist, but that's cool, bro. I don't know how I hurt it. But it's great. I hope people got some pictures because I was in my Android Vision makeup. My daughter's, put your Android Vision makeup on. I was like, okay, so Hopefully there's pictures of me in my Android midget makeup carrying a girl over my shoulder or fucking.
It'll be on somebody's TikTok later.
I hope so. God damn, it was so funny. So, yeah, man. So, we're gonna do our final 4 movies. We missed the last one. Just things got fucking crazy. But I know that we had talked about, hey, we're not doing 31 movies this month. Blah 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 blah. And the more and more I started looking at it, the more and more I was like, oh yeah, I pretty much did 30 movies this month already.
Oh yeah, I'm currently crushing it at like 65, and there's like 4 days left.
Damn, yeah, and the thing about it is I was.
They're not all new watches though.
No,
I'd say about I don't know, probably 40 of mine are new watches though. So
let me see. I'll tell you my new watches, not just a handful. So, The Taking of Deborah Logan, The Last Will and Testament of Rose and Lee.
Yeah, this one's good.
Rose and Lee. Yeah, so that was new. Slime City Massacre was new.
Hell yeah.
For me, great one. What else was new? The Woods. Pet Cemetery Bloodlines was new for me. Trying to look at anything else. Daybreakers, that was new for me as well.
Oh yeah, I saw that in the theater. I remember really liking it.
Yeah.
It has some cool spots.
Pearl.
Oof, brilliant.
Hobgoblins. And, that took some life out of me.
That one was up there with Munchies.
Oh, it really took some life out of me, dude.
Good.
No. I'm like, how did these movies even get put on fucking physical media? Yeah, and then The Midnight Hour, which we did for Android Vision, and then the Demon's Rook and Asmodexia. So those are the new ones I did this month. But I mean, I really was all over. got caught up. We did Planet Terror, Death Proof, Street Trash, Trick or Treat '87, Trick or Treat 2009, Ricky O, Night of the Demon, H2, Fright Night, the original, Friday 13th Final Chapter, Christine, Full Eclipse. Yeah, we went down. I went down the line. Greasy Strangler, Freaks. Yeah, Race with the Devil. We did a couple of years ago.
Oh, that's been a while.
It's a good one. Yeah, Toxic Avenger, Maniac, The Thing. Yeah, I was super impressed with Pearl though. It's
an absolute crime she was not nominated for an Oscar. Like an absolute crime. Like I don't.
Yeah, she did no Oscar. She did good in that movie.
Yeah, that dialogue is one of the greatest
at the end,
delivered dialogue ever. That whole shot is absolutely brilliant.
Like, in one take.
There's nothing like it. Yeah,
talking to her fake boyfriend or her boyfriend.
Yeah, it's so fucking cool.
That was a good one. Yeah, I got my wife's like, I want to watch something. I want to watch something different. I want to watch something I haven't seen. So let's check out Pearl because I know it's a prequel. So we still got to watch X, actually. This is just a movie that slipped under my radar. And I'm fully aware of what they are. I know who did them. I just slipped under my radar.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Pearl was great. It was like – it had that, like, that what it wanted you to feel, that 1940s old school, without the black and white. And
right.
She was a nut.
Mm-hmm.
She's fucking crazy. Just having sex with the fucking scarecrow. Fucking not liking her mom. Very weird sexual with her dad, but not. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's fucking weird. But it was like all over the place. But she was a nut. It was cool. I can't wait to see X. I really can't wait to see
It's
X.
good. I like Pearl better, but X is still good. So
yeah, and then they're doing a third one, right?
Yeah, Maxine will be out in December, I believe.
Maxine, huh? Okay.
Mm-hmm. It'll end the trilogy.
Wonder what Maxine's going to be about. But
Mia Goth's in it, and she wrote most of it. So
yeah. Oh, okay, so she's writing them all.
Well, yeah, she helped write Pearl too.
Okay, Pearl. Yeah, that's good, man. She hope she just doesn't get kind of like Angela. Was it Angela Bettis? Right? What was her?
Yeah, from Jugface and May and all that.
Yeah, it's like she's a super good actress too, and then they just kind of get typecast, know. And I hope she doesn't. She's got a lot of potential, and hopefully we'll see her again in something bigger and broader because she's really fucking cool. So, anything you watched, sir?
Yeah, man. Actually, I made it to the theater. Saw Five Nights at Freddy. Based off the video game. I really liked it, but I'm not super familiar with the lore at all. I know it's a game, and I kind of have a loose idea. Mm-hmm. But to me, it was pretty fun. It did feel a little long, but very enjoyable, I thought. And there's a little nods to the games in there, apparently, so that I could tell where they were because people were like clapping and laughing and stuff when they saw them in the movie. So I thought it was a good experience.
The kids watched it on TV the other night.
Yeah, it's totally serviceable. It is long, I will say that. That's my only knock on it, really. Then I went back and watched a bunch of the old Universal horrors that I hadn't seen. So I watched like The Mummy's Ghost, The Mummy's Hand, The Mummy's Curse, The Raven, The Strange Case of Dr. X, The Mummy's Tomb, Frankenstein Meets Wolfman. Those were all fun. They're all about the same to me. The only one I like a lot is Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman. That one's fantastic.
Right.
Rewatched Haunt from 2019, which is fucking awesome if you've never seen it. About basically an extreme haunted house some kids go to and they actually start killing them. Super fun. Then watched a weird one called Appendage on Hulu about a lady whose twin grows out of the side of her body. Pretty good. Definitely weird. Could have been weirder. And then I caught up with The Final Girls from 2015, which I hadn't seen before, which was incredibly fun. Highly recommended. It takes kind of a satire, parody or whatnot, but fucking great. Good time. Yeah, outside of that, the stuff we watch, but yeah, it's been a pretty good month. A lot of middle of the road stuff for me that was okay or a little bit better than okay. So yeah, it wasn't too painful. Only a few really, really bad eggs. So
yeah, I didn't have too many stinkers. I mean, obviously some of the movies that I watched were rewatches. Not too many bad eggs. And even the rewatches pretty much lived up for me for the most part.
Yeah, I think the worst one I watched was one called Shaky Shivers, which was like a werewolf comedy that just didn't hit. It just wasn't really funny at all. It had some cool scenes and effects for sure, but that's really the only thing that saves it. But it's
Shaky Shivers, huh?
Yeah, this is weird. I don't know, but I think maybe that style of humor they're using in there doesn't hit me, and I'm very particular about humor. So somebody else might absolutely love it and think it's fucking great, and that's fine.
Sure.
It's just not my style of horror comedy.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, Hobgoblins was, like I said, took some life out of me. Yeah, that one's not good.
And of course, Shaky Shivers was the one my wife watched with me.
Yeah, and yeah, of course. And Pet Sematary Bloodlines, like, I appreciate the ambition, but it just didn't hit. It just didn't hit all the marks for me. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it didn't necessarily feel like a Stephen King adaptation or shoot off of his universe. You know what I mean? Like, it was just kind of a straight horror movie.
Right.
Little predictable, and I feel like even in the first one and even in the second one, they're really able to kind of capture the people that come back from whatever the rock graveyard that they build them in. And this one, it was okay, but I don't know. It just didn't really. It was pretty violent. It was really cool. Just didn't really.
I thought it was just kind of fine. I didn't think it was anything spectacular, but it was better than I thought it was going to be.
Sure.
I thought it was going to be atrociously bad, but
yeah, it didn't drive me nuts.
No.
It was nice to see an old Pam Grier in there.
Absolutely, right? That was a fun, unexpected surprise.
So, we got 4 films we're doing tonight, guys, or this morning on this episode. So we're going to be kind of going back and forth between Xander's and mine. And I'm going to try to find, unless everybody out there doesn't mind listening to a trailer in Spanish, which I'll probably will play.
Yeah, there should be a lot of audio.
Yes.
Stuff in it.
Yeah, for sure.
You'll get the idea, I think.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and listen to the trailer for Asmodexia.
Sé que está siendo un largo camino, pero estamos cerca. Aguantarás. Si tu madre hubiera sido solo la mitad de fuerte que tú. Y ya sabes que esas pobres criaturas nos necesitan. Te necesitan. Estamos salvados. Él quería enterrarnos en vida. En ocasiones una persona es elegida para un fin excepcional. Y eso, como en tu caso, la convierte en alguien especial. No te confíes, Alba.
Credo in nonnum Deo.
Noto su presencia.
Adiós.
¡En el nombre del Señor! ¡Sal de aquí! ¡Sal de aquí! ¡No! ¡No! ¡Ant universam et gloriam! ¡Illiorum pianitra dictatur!
No vais a destruir su obra.
All right, guys, you just listened to the trailer for Asmodexia. Take it away, sir.
Yes, so full disclosure up front, this movie is a little hard to follow at times, but it does all come together in the end, so I'm going to try to make sure I describe it appropriately, and hopefully if I miss any parts, you can kind of chime in.
It is I was going to say, it is a convoluted plot.
It is, but I think it does come together, albeit not perfectly, which is the movie's biggest fault. And honestly, this movie was kind of polarizing. Some people absolutely fucking hated it. I think there's a whole lot of good in this flick, and I just kind of overlook that fact of it because it doesn't fucking bother me. I think a lot of cool shit happens in this movie. But what happens here is essentially this guy is a pastor, and he's like roaming all over Barcelona, I think. And he's like, he does exorcisms. And the first scene we actually get in the film is of like some kids playing around outside, you know, in this like kind of compound, which later we kind of find out is more like a cult, like a religious cult, like he's the pastor or whatnot. And, you know, you just see these two kids meet as kids and they play or whatever. And like, that's kind of the end of that. And it flashes like 15 years later, or not quite there yet. Sorry. There's a exorcism of a lady in, was it like a barn or I can't remember.
Yeah.
So this lady's giving birth, and it is a very, like, you could tell she's like kind of being possessed. And the guy that's like delivering the birth is this pastor guy, and he's like talking about this sinful child that she's having, and he's yelling at the pregnant lady's sister and like shoves her face in between her legs as she's like basically bleeding out, giving this birth to this child. And it's a very like intense, like, what the fuck? We're like 5 minutes into this movie and some lady's head gets jammed in between another lady's legs as she's birthing. And it's it's a very quick shot. But I love the shot because I think it's like, bah, you know what I mean? But it happens so quick. The camera's over top of her, and you just see the visual of him like holding her hair and just like shoving in there, and you're like, Jesus Christ. So, you know, obviously something's going on. He thinks this is a devil baby. You know, there's some weird culty shit going on, and then it flashes to 15 years later, and what's it say? 3 days before the resurrection. And,
well, yeah, it's saying like, you know, 3 days before the resurrection, but it doesn't really explain what resurrection.
No, it doesn't. And so we get the guy that was delivering the baby, which is this pastor exorcist guy, which name is Eloy, I think. And he's traveling with a 15-year-old girl. Shocker. So they're basically traveling around Barcelona, and they're going into these scenarios where there's a whole lot of people getting possessed. And they go there. There's lots of talk about how she's the special one, and they'll need her, like the anointed, for the new, what do they call it? The new life that's about to happen. Like they're expecting something big.
Yeah,
and
like
so,
a new beginning.
Yeah, and that really, you don't know. This is where people get irritated. Like you don't really know what the fuck's going on, and you don't find out till a good bit later that essentially, Asmodexia kind of translates to like King of the Demons, I think is what they say.
Yeah.
And so this particular demon is trying to create almost like a army of the possessed, right? Mm-hmm. And once he gets whatever he wants, he's the all-powerful, blah, blah, blah. You know, this is a thing we've heard 1,000 times. One person to save us all, right? And so the 15-year-old girl is supposedly this. And so the entire film is them going to these areas, meeting people, and these possession scenes, which I think there's a lot of really cool possession scenes. Like one of the ones where the girl's like in a tub and she like gets drowned a few times and she comes up and you see she's possessed, and just all these little possessions happening and they're going around doing them. And then you meet like the aunt whose head face was like shoved in between Lay's legs earlier, and she's a cop now. And so she's looking into all this stuff to see what's going on, and she's watching. You get a lot of flashback videos of her watching like VHS tapes of like the old cult and like all the stuff they were doing. And then we were like, oh, okay, it's a cult now. You know, it's a cult. This he's just a cult leader. He's not a fucking legitimate pastor. In my eyes, I feel like he's just a cult leader using religion to manipulate these people. But he is on to something because there's actual fucking possessions happening. So it's like this
it's like they're almost trying to figure out. It's almost like, I guess I got from it, they're almost trying to pull out a demon that she can help pull out only. It's only, that's why he has her with him to help do these exorcisms. Yeah. That's kind of what I put together from it. I know a lot of things you have to put together yourself, and then they're being tracked as well, which is kind of by who, by what, well, not by what, but by who. And it's a little weird.
Also, the opening scene with kids outside is not this movie, by the way. That's incorrect. This starts off with the birth.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. Did you watch a different cop?
No. Yeah, this totally starts off with just the birth. There is no like opening scenes like that. Sorry. That's the other movie that we're talking about later. That's my second movie. But by the end of all this, we learn out that like, they're not exorcists at all. They're running a cult. Like I just said, they're running a cult, and it's basically, we find out that, the mom, sorry, I forgot about the mom. The mom that gave birth, meanwhile, is in like an insane asylum. She's like reading tarot cards, and like she knows this Asmodexia shit's about to happen. The resurrection's a few days away. And eventually she gets out of the asylum and has to go to, they have like this abandoned water park where this cult meets, which is really fucking cool spot, by the way.
Yeah.
Has all the graffitied out. Really creepy fucking cool spot. And she goes down there. The mom goes down there, and then the aunt's like searching down there, and then you find out, this is a cult. They're trying to get these demons to come to life and, take over the world. But the 15-year-old girl is like, the only one that can save us. So,
right.
And it just kind of, you get into your end sequence here, and, ultimately, is it the battle? What I like about the ending of this particularly is like, is it good versus evil or evil versus evil? Like,
right.
Because it's all manipulated. And what I don't know is, what you don't get is like a true like explanation of the girl, whether she is actually just being used or is she like legitimately the catalyst for all this? Like if it wasn't for her, would any of this even happen? So those are some questions that are left for me anyways. But overall, I love the little scenes with the exorcism. There's a lot of good gore effects and stuff in here. And I think they're all pretty effective in the end. But yeah, King of the Demons, Asmodexia.
Yeah, I think for me, a little convoluted. You have to pay attention to it. It's hard to follow. It's
absolutely. You can't be checking your phone because like the explanations are in there, but they're not. They don't get brought up again. They don't get rebeat into your brain. But that is also, the film's only like an hour and 20 minutes. So
it's not bad.
They don't beat you over the head with it, but I feel like they should have put a touch more in there to kind of keep your brain going for it. But
yeah, I feel like, it tried to reinvent the exorcism wheel a little bit. But it didn't necessarily hit it out of the park in doing so. I thought, it did have your kind of creepy in the insane asylum, your not necessarily, I would say, original type of insane. It just gives you the theatrical version of what an insane asylum looks like. It's like just weird, crazy. Makeup effects were decent, okay. I feel like they could have been a little bit better, but there was definitely. I feel like the problem with it opened itself up with a bang that it didn't really live up to. And
it does fizzle a little bit. I will say this was my second viewing of it, and I didn't like it as much as I did the first time, but I still liked it a lot. So
yeah, it fizzles out in the middle, kind of takes a dip, and then it kind of ramps itself back up in the third act. Yeah, and I think we knew, well, like there's several things going on. It has something to do with the Mayan calendar. It has something to do with all kinds of other weird shit. And they're having to do it on a certain day. And, you know, from what I got from it, that the little girl, you know, was born of the lady, but the lady was possessed.
I left out the biggest gap.
Go ahead.
The pastor, the exorciser, Lloyd, that's his daughter. He fucked his daughter. The
demon
child is his granddaughter and daughter.
Yeah.
That's what the fuck?
Yeah. That's a weird. Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of left that big out, which was that big point out. But
that's why she was like an abomination. You know what I mean? Like one of those weird things where she abominated. But yeah, and she did have power. And again, I think like you said, they were part of. But were they knowingly? I don't think she was knowingly a part of the cult. You know what I mean? I think she just thought she was doing.
That was life. That's her life. You know.
That's her life. That's what she was doing. And you know, decent movie from my end. Again, I feel again like it tried to reinvent the exorcism wheel, and then there was some weird found footage stuff in there as well. It was decent. I don't know. What'd you give it?
Oh, me, I still like it. It's a 3.5 out of 5 for me. I had it rated at a 4 on my first viewing.
Sure,
that's why it kind of wound up in the mix. But I still think it's solid. I like the effort here, and I like that they didn't try to make the movie too long, specifically because, you know, the story wasn't as flushed out as it could have been, but you got enough pieces, and if they dragged it out any longer, I feel like you'd have been like, okay, fuck this movie.
Yeah.
But I love the idea of them traveling around and all these individual possessions, and you have these like areas where there's a whole bunch of people being possessed, and almost like when they leave the insane asylum, like there's like 30 people that get possessed and leave this place as the mom's leaving. So I think there's a lot of really cool stuff in here, and I think it deserves a little more attention. I'm not saying everybody's going to go watch this movie and think it's a 4 out of 5 or anything crazy, but I do think it's worth looking at. Like when it came out, it had a little bit of buzz, and then it fizzled and went away. But it's worth a look, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's decent. So, I would say 3.5 out of 5 would be good for me too.
Yeah,
as well. Not too bad. I mean, again, got to follow this stuff, and I don't know if it is a huge payoff. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if the investment is worth the payoff in this movie, in my opinion. Yeah. But hey, it's a fun watch either way.
For sure.
So, let's go ahead and go to my pick. And that is going to be 1980. No, it was in the early 90s. 1993. Yeah, mid 90s. Yeah. I'm like, 86. Fuck. Anyways, we're gonna listen. We're gonna 93's Full Eclipse, guys. And we'll be right back.
In downtown LA, the criminals are beating out the cops.
Everybody down! Get down!
And for a street-hardened cop like Max Dyer, it's become a war that can't be won.
We know you've got some problems, Max. We just don't want you to quit.
But now he's been assigned to a new elite squad.
Okay, man, what's the deal?
A secret police unit.
Are we talking like some sort of pseudo-Charlie Bronson vigilante?
We call it justice.
With a special method for cleaning the scum off the streets.
Hey.
They're powerful. Deadly.
Be part of the pack, Max.
The answer is no.
You have to.
No, I don't.
And they only come out at night.
Tough guy. Get out while you can, bro.
What did he do to you?
Tonight, we take back the streets.
From the director of Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, comes Mario Van Peebles of New Jack City and Posse, Patsy Kensit of Lethal Weapon 2, and Bruce Payne of Passenger 57 in Full Eclipse. The streets have never been so scary.
All right, guys, you listened to the trailer for Full Eclipse, 1993, I guess sci-fi action horror type of film. I just remember seeing this movie on VHS when my brother-in-law used to work at Lowe's truck stop, and they used to let him get free VHSs to bring home to view before they were out. And yeah, it was weird. He would get these copies, and it's like not for, and you get the not for. What's that little thing that you get at the bottom of the screen? Not for release yet, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would get. I remember seeing it on one of those, and it was a good copy. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, man. This movie's directed by Anthony Hitchcock, who has definitely some really cool horror films under his belt. Waxwork, the sequel Waxwork 2, fucking Hellraiser 3.
Yeah,
he did a Warlock film, so
yeah.
He's got some chops. But yeah, so basically what we do is we get Mario Van Peebles. If anybody doesn't know who he is, he's a great fucking actor. Bruce Payne, who I think is a pretty underrated bad guy that we see all over the place, and
Highlander, and
yeah, which is really cool because he used Bruce Payne in I think his Armageddon movie, recast Julian Sands. Yeah, and then there's one of the werewolf chicks in this as well that plays one of the Cenobites in that movie in Hellraiser 3. But yeah, you basically get this movie where it really starts out with like your normal like LA cop
action vibes.
Yeah. And
yeah, like you feel like you're set up, we're going to watch a dirty cop movie. You know,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Like it's total like LA's never been really truly gritty, but it is as gritty as you can get in LA. Yeah, so and this is funny, Mario Van Peebles' name is Max Dyer, aka like a dire wolf. Get it?
Mm-hmm.
And he's just, getting tired, man. Getting tired. His wife's like, I'm getting tired of this shit too. He's got the whole Murtaugh thing going on. Getting too old for this
Too
shit.
old for this shit.
Yeah. So he's got a partner who he basically commits suicide by shoots himself.
Self-inflicted.
Self-inflicted. And we get a really good, just to go back, we really get a really good fucking action scene at the beginning of this movie.
Oh, yeah. I remember messaging you. I was like, Jesus Christ, Mario Van Peebles unloaded like 10 clips in 3 minutes in this movie.
And his partner's like crazy, like, so what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, his partner looks like he's hopped up on speed or some shit.
He's jumping out a window, chasing cars. What the fuck's going on? He's got superpowers.
And those scenes are really fucking cool when his partner is jumping over those cars. That's fucking so cool. Like he's almost like floating and landing and pouncing. It looks great.
Yeah, so his partner kills himself, and then and he's a little fucked up. He's done, and he gets approached by a high-ranking officer, and he's from other cities, and he's kind of got a weird background. He's just a mysterious guy, and that's going to be Bruce Payne's character. His name's Adam Garreau, and which is really fucking funny because Garreau in French is wolf. Just to let you guys know. So they were subtle, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
If you know some your shit. So yeah, he's known for like just stamping out crime in other cities, the jobs that he goes to.
Yeah, he's the enforcer.
Yeah,
he's the Charles Bronson of this bitch.
He's got a good record, old Adam Garreau. He knows what's up. So he invites him to his apartment, and they're having weekly meetings with other officers. And there's this other officer that shows up, and he's just like, "Man, what the fuck? I need more," or something like that. And then so he says he tells Adam Garreau. Well, basically, Adam's character tells Max Dyer, "Hey, don't quit the force yet. We're a special unit. We think that you could fucking, basically benefit from us." And they meet they meet Max, and he's brought into the pack of these officers that are like working on at a Guerrero's team, and these people are like kind of doing vigilante shifts, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
They're cleaning the streets up, and as he goes out with them, which is really funny because they have these special tactical suits that are very Blade-esque.
Yeah, this whole crew gave me like old school like Lost Boys vibes. You know how like they have like all the vampires together. That's like the way they're even like walking around in the room when Mario Van Peebles meets them. They're very like kind of brooding, and you obviously know something's up with them. It felt very like Lost Boys inspired right there for me.
Sure.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. So he goes out with them, and he shows that these people inject themselves with some fucking shit, right? And obviously this shit's been being produced by Guerrero, and they go out and they fucking slaughter these fucking people. Yeah. They fucking slaughter them. He's like, what the fuck's going on? So he starts taking the shit, starts doing the vigilante fucking shit with them as well.
It starts banging the girl that's the lead with Guerrero's
Patsy Kensit
partner. Yeah.
Yes, it gets very, very she's sniffing out the alpha.
Yeah, which is cool. I actually like this sex scene actually because they're having sex, but not like for nudity purposes. But like toward the end of like when it's wrapping up, you see like her eyes change and her teeth come out, and you're like, okay, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, so
it's like Red Shoe Diaries meets Werewolf.
Yeah,
because it wasn't a super visual nude scene or scary. It was just it felt like Red Shoe Diaries with fangs.
yeah, totally. He meets another officer, and the guy's a little deformed, and he tells him what's going on, and he's telling him that there's other officers that work this guy that have been killed, and he escaped. But this guy's deformed because he's overused the chemicals basically that he gives him, and I don't know. He starts to realize that they're fucking turning into werewolves, and there's a really cool like a meetup at the end finally, because he wants to put a stop to this. This is fucked up, and essentially they meet up, and the wolf comes out of the dude, and they have the battle. They have the big battle.
That's right.
Which is really cool. And then the other guys kind of come to Guerrero's aid, and he's got to battle them, and it doesn't really. I don't know. The ending wasn't satisfying to me, but essentially, after all is said and done, everybody's gone pretty much. Max kind of picks up the reins where Adam stopped, and he's like, "All right, we're gonna fucking do this. I'm the new fucking Guerrero. I'm the alpha wolf, and I'm gonna take out gangs." Like he did, and that's it. It kind of ends. I don't know, man. Again, I picked this movie because I saw it way back in the day in the 90s. Again, this is a mid-90s movie.
Yeah, an HBO flick, nonetheless.
Yeah, this is when HBO made shit. Well, they make shit now. Don't get me wrong, but this is when they were
making weird horror stuff.
Horror stuff.
This is the era of Night Flyer, Cast a Deadly Spell, shit like that.
Yeah. HBO Pictures. I mean, I've watched this somewhere else, but it's got good reviews for what it has. It's actually it's a hidden gem, in my opinion. I love the shit out of this movie. I think you should watch it. Don't want to give too much away at the end, but it does fall into a predictable ending, I would say, for sure. With the final battle with whoever's fucking doing what they're doing. And it's a very moody 90s film. I think 90s horror movies, or even movies like this, are kind of they're starting to find their charm all these years later. I mean, how can you follow up the 70s and 80s with horror, right? But the 90s have coming right now. People are starting to realize, whoa, it fleshed out its own vibe.
Yeah, then Search of Darkness is digging into that. They're making a documentary about the 90s, but I will tout my own. I have the largest list of 90s horror films on Letterboxd. I have about 400 in there, so go check out my Letterboxd if you want to see it.
Fuck yeah, is it going on there?
It's already on there. Yeah, it's on there.
Nice.
It wasn't on there until we did this. I was like, oh, fucking sweet.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. Like, again, don't want to give too much away. Just kind of want to give you the general gist of this movie. for me, it as a teenager growing up watching this is everything I wanted in a movie. You got wolves, you got cops, you got them wearing fucking superhero outfits.
Right.
You got some sex, you got some shooting. It's just all over the place for me. So, I mean, as a kid, as the I don't know, 16-year-old that saw this, loved it. Now as the fucking here I am 30 years later, it still has its charm for me. Obviously, there's some corny parts in it, but
for sure.
To me, it's a solid 3.5 out of 5. Really love this fucking movie.
Yeah,
so.
I loved it. It's a 4 out of 5 for me.
Oh, look.
But I'll tell you what I really loved about this thing, and just straight from the get-go, like we had talked about the action and stuff, but like truly this felt like an action horror comic to me as it played out. And I absolutely loved that. I loved that so much about this, and it automatically made it nostalgic straight out of the gate.
Yeah.
But it's also fun. It's a lesser talked about werewolf movie. I loved it. It was fantastic. I'm super stoked to add it. It was such a cool flick.
That makes me so happy because I was like, I hope he's gonna like this one.
Yeah, no, I loved it, man. It was great.
I really like overlooked gem.
For sure.
And what I like about it, bro, is I did pick a couple movies unknowingly that you had never seen. So yes, that's a check mark for me. So guys, check out Full Eclipse. It is totally worth it. Don't believe it's gotten a Blu-ray yet, but it's out on DVD. Even if you could find it, I don't know if you tried looking for it, physical copy. But god damn it, I still wish I had that VHS. Son of a bitch. Maybe I could find it somewhere. All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and listen to the trailer for your next film, sir.
Yeah.
Going on with your theme of demons. Possession. Okay, so it's going to be the Demon's Rook, and we'll be right back.
There is a secret world where monsters rule in the shadows. Now the doorway has opened, and hell is hungry. To fight monsters, you must become a demon. Rook.
All right, guys. This is Xander's pick, and this is the Demon's Rook.
Yes. Demon's Rook is a super independent film from 2013. It did well at Fantasia Fest and a bunch of other festivals. It's directed by James Sizemore, written by James Sizemore. He's also in it. And it is a wild ride. So this film is the film that starts off with two kids playing outside and they're becoming friends. And at some point the boy finds this like weird portal and he goes in it and it takes him to this kind of fantasy land, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
We're demons and there's a demon named Dimwos down there.
Or hole in the ground.
Yeah. And so he basically gets stuck down there with Demos, who's trying to keep other demons from getting out, I guess. There's like 3 other demons that gets out. And so this kid, what's his name? Roscoe? Yeah. Roscoe grows. He basically lives down in this other fantasy world with this demon for years until he finds out the demon had killed his parents. And this whole time he's been down there, he's like been trained to be a fucking wizard, which is like the wild ass idea in this movie. So he's like, he has like these wizard powers, and he manages to get out of the demon's portal. But when he comes out, he releases those other demons, and so he, of course, doesn't really realize he's been gone for so long, right? And he's just kind of wandering around, and eventually he reconnects with his old childhood friend. But when he comes out, you start getting flashes of other demon things happening, and they use a lot of fog.
She almost hits him with the car, though, right?
She does, because she doesn't realize it's him when he finally gets to her. Obviously, why would she remember,
He's a grown-ass man now.
Right, and then she finds out that her father is dead from him letting out one of the demons, which is an awesome, gory-ass scene where he gets torn apart and eaten by all these fucking demons. Which is wild, but obviously she's going to have to join up forces with him to kind of battle these demons and get them all fucking killed. And so they're just kind of going through the movie the whole time, just trying to take out demons, and there's lots of cool possession scenes and people getting eaten apart. Very awesome makeup on these demons. Fantastic music as well in a lot of these scenes. And I feel like they did a good job on the set, which some people knock for it, but like they'll use a lot of fog to basically cover up they don't have $1 million set, right? What's they can do? They have these awesome makeup on these demons. They have this fog, and they do a really good job of editing in this music and having all these cool scenes with these demons. And then Roscoe and them, he starts using some of his magic, and they have to fight up against the demon toward the end. And obviously, I'm not going to give away the ending because I think it's kind of cool. But it is just like a super fun ride with awesome gore. I mean, the gore. I forgot how great the gore is in this movie.
It's fucking impressive for as low of a budget that it had.
Yeah, if you're a gore hound, this is awesome. Because there's lots of scenes where these demons are just pure chaos the whole time. Like, they go to a Halloween party and start ripping people to shreds. And
That's
like,
a good one.
Yeah, if you're a fan of the movie Demons, you're going to fucking love this, because this is basically a love letter to demons, in my opinion, with the music, the weird demons, the giant scenes of slaughter, with like this weird fantasy wizard twist. It's just a fun fucking ride, and there's no way about it. My only real knock on this thing is it does feel a little long when they're kind of explaining the story in the flashback, especially when Roscoe meets up with Eva, and he's like explaining to her where he was. But they're these very cool, like kind of cerebral edited scenes we get here. So there's a lot of actually really snazzy like editing work and camera work in this thing. And like I said, if you're a fan of demons, you're going to love this. This one, hands down, 4 out of 5 for me. Super fun. It did make a buzz back in the day, but again, it's one that's not really ever brought up anywhere anymore. Right. So, the whole point of this Halloween thing was to get things back out there. Hopefully people find some cool shit that were cool and were respected and just kind of disappeared amongst the, litany of awful and not great things that came out. So
sure. Yeah. For me, I mean, I like, again, the atmosphere. They did what they could with what they had, right? You got the lights. I mean, hell, dude. I mean, they could have used a fucking $5 lamp from Walmart with a fucking $2 red bulb and a goddamn Walmart smoke machine and made it look completely cool. So I really like what they did with the resources that they had. Again, top-notch fucking makeup, which is amazing. The demons were great. Really, really cool. I did like the storyline. It was very
different.
Yeah. And the kid being raised by a demon and turning into a wizard, but he's like, hey, there's these. That's the only thing that threw him off. He's all, hey, these other demons, like, they don't live for love. It's like, well, what demon does? Okay, you know what I mean? Like,
demons, right?
Yeah, we're demons. None of us live for love. Okay, well, I'll play with you. I will play with you. But yeah, it's really cool, man. It's fun, man. The fucking party, like, they just that's the fucking peak for me, right? They just
it's great,
tearing everybody apart. I don't know why I've never seen this before. This was
came and went, man. It came and went.
Yeah, this is like the heyday of KR, right? When we were doing KR.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, for sure. Well,
how did that not catch a buzz with all of us in that group?
Well, I'm pretty sure I reviewed it actually for KR back in the day, so there was a fucking article on there, I think.
Like, I don't remember. I'm sure there is. I mean, I don't think you can get any of the old reviews off of there, but yeah. Either way, man, I'm so sad that I missed this back in the day, but I'm glad I got to see it now because it was completely worth it.
It's a good weird one to pop on in the background if you're having people over for like Halloween.
Sure, it would
like they're like, what the fuck is on the TV right now?
It would have been cool if I throw this on the screens
at Rensden
for a Halloween party, you know, just something like that, like even Demons, right? Not Demons Rook. It had that vibe, you know, like in Demons when the fucking chicks are transforming into demons and teeth are falling out. You're like, the fuck is going on here? You know, it's got that vibe. I liked it, man. I really liked it. I thought it was such a fucking satisfying, fun ride. Again, a little bit lengthy when they're explaining everything, but you know, fucking good, dude. What are your thoughts on it?
Oh, it's a 4 out of 5 for me. Yeah, like I just love. It's fucking great. Yeah, I've said my piece. It's wonderful. Check it out, and it's streaming for free on Tubi right now. So
yeah. Which is really, really fucking
Or is it on Freevee? It's either on Tubi or Freevee. I can't remember.
One of them
either
places. One of them spots. Yeah, completely enjoyed the shit out of it. So hope you guys will like it and go check it out. It's worth a fucking gander. All right. So the last review for this episode, guys, in our last
The Piece La Resistance.
Yes, this is it. We saved, I don't know what the best for last, but whatever. We'll figure it out. Let's go ahead and listen to the trailer for 1986's The Hitcher.
Hello, police?
Stand where you are!
I got sprayed by this guy who picked up hitchhiking.
Do you believe me?
Do I look like a killer to you?
Don't you know who he is?
My mother told me never to do this. What are you looking at me like that for?
The terror starts the moment he stops. The Hitcher.
All right, guys, you listened to the trailer for The Hitcher from 1986. Fucking road horror thriller movie, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get it totally.
One of the most iconic posters of the 80s, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah, so this movie really starts off with. It starts off scary, in my opinion. Very odd. You got C. Thomas Howell fucking driving down the road, just transporting a car, right? And he's in, I don't know, Arizona, LA, something like that around.
Somewhere
Arizona. Yeah. In the Southwest around where I live.
Yeah, near your
very,
house.
Yeah, very desolate fucking desert road. It's raining. He picks up Rutger Hauer and, you know, he's like, hey, thanks, man. Got a cigarette? Da-da-da-da-da. He's like, yeah, totally. And he fucking gives him a ride. And the guy calls himself John Ryder, and he fucking...
Little C. Thomas Howell playing that guy, too.
Oh, wait. Yeah, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, what was C. Thomas Howell's name in this? I forget. Totally forget.
Jim.
Yeah. So as they're like going, Rutger Hauer's just being weird and creepy. You know what I mean? Already. It's at night. He's dripping wet. Got a cigarette, smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
And as he sees a car that's stranded, and he kind of slows down to look at it, and like John presses down on his fucking leg to punch the gas more to go. And then he's like, what the fuck? And he just comes out and says, yeah, I murdered the driver. I'm going to fucking do the same to you. Pretty much tells me he's going to fucking, because I'm going to fucking take your eyes out with this fucking knife. This switch.
What?
The fuck? And then he's like, I want you to stop me. And it's like, he's got the fucking knife, like, right. He's just terrorizing him. He's like, oh my God, please don't kill me. And then he notices that the seatbelt's unlocked, and he fucking just throws him out of the car. And he's like, I got you, motherfucker. Fuck.
Yeah.
You know,
and roll credits. Movie's over.
Yeah. But that's like in the first 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, it's right up there.
Played brilliantly. and creepy by Rutger Hauer.
Yeah, I will say I appreciate the actual. I feel like there is chemistry between Rutger Hauer and C. Thomas Howell in DC. I think they play well off one another. You know, I know C. Thomas Howell's it wasn't his best performance. He's a way better actor, but I think it still plays out well on screen with him too.
Yeah. So, so he's riding down the road. Okay, things are good. He's been driving all night. Sees a family in a station wagon. Their fucking kids are fucking waving at him, you know, doing this, and then you see Rutger Hauer in the back of the car
with a toy gun.
With the toy gun, going playing with the kids in the fucking hatchback, and he's like, "No!" He's like, "Get off the road! You got a killer in your car!" They're like, "What? You fucking crazy person! Get the fuck out of here!" Finally comes across the fucking car a little bit later, and the fucking family's slaughtered.
Right.
You know, it's crazy. Yeah. So it at that point becomes like a cat and mouse where he's fucking with him, not fucking with him, fucking with him, not fucking with him. Goes into a gas station. You know, the gas station explodes. One of the weirdest things in this movie, and I'll get to it, but we also meet, which I think is played really good, Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Yeah, I was trying to remember. Is this pre or this is post Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Oh, this is post. Yeah, Fast Times it was early 80s. Yeah, this is definitely post. Plays it like she does. I really like her. I'll give a little bit away. He's in this driver. He's fucking fried, right? Like,
yeah, the cook is like, "You good?" He's like, "Oh no."
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, he is so fried. This guy's terrorized him for the last 24 hours, which is you could have made a movie within that 24 hours. But anyway,
because he never sleeps. He doesn't sleep.
Yeah, he don't sleep. But I think the really cool part is when he's eating the fries and he picks up the finger.
Yeah.
I was all, yes! That was so good. Which basically says that this guy's still fucking with him. He's around somewhere.
Yeah, he's somewhere.
Yeah, and what's really cool is you also have, like, him arresting him because he's fucking, they think he's doing the killings.
Right, and why wouldn't you? Like,
yeah, they think he's doing the killings, and that's not happening, and, you know, he takes what's her name hostage because he's like, I'm not doing this shit.
Yeah, I love how willy-nilly she's like, yeah, I believe you. Let's go. Of course.
Yeah,
man's chasing you down the interstate.
I believe you. I believe you. And you know, they take off. Yeah. Deep diving into this movie, man. Like, the kid, he wants to kill himself. He's wanting to do all these things. He's really fucking tormented. He gets a fucking room with what's her name, Jennifer Jason Leigh. They finally, everything kind of goes down the way they want it to go down. There's a fucking helicopter crash in this. There's a crazy police in the fucking desert. Car accidents. Basically, when they get to the hotel, he abducts Jennifer Jason Leigh. And this is a particular fucking, even though they don't show it, they didn't need to show it. He's like, I'm caught, right? Rutger Hauer's like, I'm caught. They know who I am. I'm caught. He's in a semi, and there's a semi behind him. It's just normal, and he has her tied in between the two semis. And they're like, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. And you see his face and just gasp. I'm like, no!
Yeah, because he's like, we can't, you know, of course, C. Thomas Howell's flipping his shit because he's like, stop him. Like, well, as soon as he lets his foot off the clutch, the semi's going to go. It's going to rip her in half. Like, you know. So
yeah, and
it's put in a bad spot.
We don't know. I mean, we know she's dead. But we don't
technically we don't see anything other than
she could have been torn in half. Her arms could have been torn off. Her legs could have been torn off. We just know she's dead.
Yeah, it did not end well.
Yeah, what's crazy is you know, he's off the hook. They take John Ryder to jail. There's another police scene. And, you know, they're taking him to jail, and the bus that he's in, he attacks and kills everybody in that bus. And then it's just the ride for their life at the end. In the desert, it's just Ryder and C. Thomas Howell. And Ryder's just fucking nuts. He's a strong-ass fucking crazy fucking killer. And the end is the end. I won't give it away, but I do like how this movie ended.
Yeah, I agree.
And I do like how the fucking credits hit. And I do like how C. Thomas Howell's just fucking his silhouette in the cars. There's a sunset, and he's smoking a cigarette, and the ominous fucking music plays with the credits. For me, man, again, going back, hit the nostalgia factor to me. I was able to, in those times, 8, 9, 10 years old, I was able to walk down to the video store, maybe a half mile away from my parents' house, and rent this. And I think I rented this movie, and not I think, I know I rented this movie a lot. At least, I would say 3 times a year around that time. It's like, I feel like watching The Hitcher. I feel like watching The Hitcher. I watched this movie over and over and over again as a kid. Love it, man. I mean, not perfect. C. Thomas Howell's acting does take me out a little bit out of it.
Right, so I was saying earlier, like, I know he's a better actor than that in this movie, but there is still good chemistry between him and Gower.
Did not make its money back at the box office at all. It was an $8 million movie for back then, and it only made like about $6 million back. So,
oh wow, I'm sure it made it back in residuals and
something.
DVD sales.
Yeah. I know that there was a remake, and then I know there was a sequel or two from this one, which brought C. Thomas Howell back. I've never bothered.
You're like, why?
Yeah, let's just leave. I'm going to leave it with this.
Leave all that float. Also, another HBO Pictures, by the way.
Yeah, totally. And not even fucking. It was on HBO a lot back in the day too. Yeah. So, and that was totally by fucking chance by me. By the way, first of all, I didn't mean to pick 2 HBO Pictures. I didn't mean to fucking pick 2 pictures that Xander saw and hasn't seen, and I didn't mean to pick 2 fucking action crime thriller movies. But it just worked out that way.
Yeah, and I didn't mean to pick 2 possession movies. So
right.
Pick 2 movies.
There you go. So, man, for me, a good solid 4 out of 5. It fucking just hits everything for me. Really love the shit out of this movie. Deserves more love. It deserves some amazing, beautiful releases if it hasn't gotten any yet.
No, it's man, I would petition for a best of HBO films box set with like this, The Night Flyer, Full Clips.
Sure.
You know, there's plenty of fucking great ones out there. Yeah, I loved it too for my first time viewing. It was great. Rutger Hauer is always an awesome bad guy. Like I said, the poster is absolutely iconic with the Hitcher standing in the middle of the road and the guy with his eyes in the rearview mirror. It's just all fucking cool. And I just watched Suitable Flesh this morning, which is Joe Lynch's new film. And there's totally a spot where he is giving some nods to the Hitcher because it's kind of a possession film as well. But like when the demon moves bodies or whatever in that movie, he's always you got a cigarette? You got a cigarette? You got a cigarette? And it's almost the same, like, aneurysms and everything as Rutger Hauer. I don't know if Joe ran it that way or that's just how the actor chose to do it in Suitable Flesh. But it was cool to kind of catch that in that movie because I just watched The Hitcher. So, yeah. But brilliant. Yeah, 4 out of 5 for me, too, man. I think it lives up to its legend. I still probably will check out The Hitcher, too, but probably not immediately, just out of sheer curiosity. But definitely fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah, I'm really glad you liked it, man.
Yeah, and we don't have enough good road horror films, I don't think. I think most of them are just okay. So, but they're still fun, man.
This one, I mean, lots of action. Rutger Hauer just plays it fucking mean. Just, and I like the fact they do not give him a fucking backstory. He just is.
Right. No need to explain it. Don't even hint at anything.
He just is.
Like I like that scene in the when the cops do get a hold of him. Like, no prints, no nothing.
Yeah. He's like,
nothing. He literally doesn't exist.
And yeah, that's what's really cool. It did have Jeffrey DeMunn in it, and I'm not sure if you guys know who he is.
He's been in a shitload of movies, mostly stuff around this era.
Yeah, he was 80s. Dale in The Walking Dead, by the way.
Yeah, he's also the sheriff in the Blob remake.
Yeah, he's in The Green Mile.
I forgot he was in The Green Mile. Actually.
Yeah, he is in The Mist. He is all over the place. I really like this actor, and it was really cool seeing him play a chaw-chewing fucking cop from the Southwest. You know? And I just, like, I can't get over the fucking chase scene towards the end where the fucking helicopter crashes. I'm like, man, this movie fucking went crazy. Like,
yeah, like Rutger Hauer's like leaning out the window with like a fucking, I don't know, it looks like a Colt maybe. And he's just like firing a Colt. into the fucking blades of the helicopter and it crashes into the fucking hill.
And it's just fucking like his John Connor trench coat.
Yeah, and it's really funny too because they go to Jennifer Jason Leigh in the car and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You see the dread on her face.
And then the other part where like they go to the police station and find all the cops slaughtered by him.
Yeah. Was he killed like 3 in there?
Yeah, they're all shot up. Like, oh my god, we got the wrong guy. But this movie, again, looking back on it, rewatching it, again, really fucking holds its value for me.
Absolutely.
And I kind of, correct myself from a little bit earlier. This movie was released in Germany on Blu-ray. Again, not a region free, but it was a pretty good copy. It was remastered from the original 35 millimeter print.
This will be fun to see in 35 millimeter on the big screen.
But awesome. Now, we're almost there. But they said Second Sight Films, for a British label, they're releasing The Hitcher on 4K Blu-ray.
Nice, yeah. So they have a lot of good stuff. If you haven't checked out that label before, they do a lot of good shit.
Yeah, so
not always region free though, but some of it.
Not always region free, but it would be nice to have a physical copy of this, and I'm sure again. Oh yeah, you could get this on fucking Amazon for $20, bro. It's worth the fucking buy.
Yeah,
for sure. I would totally get it. Fucking director's cut. Shout out to Long Hair Records. Just really quick on the show. Had 2 bands cancel at Ren's Den. My daughter was able to get the touring band down to a place called Long Hair Records, which prides themselves on having a huge VHS collection. They sell them. They sell vinyls, some comic book stuff, and essentially what they do is they move all their fucking their shelves out of the way and all their VHS display cases out of the way, and they let bands jam there. They don't get too crazy there. No mosh pits or anything like Rams, but they got good jam sessions there. And my daughter picked me up for my birthday a copy of The Black Gestapo.
Oh, nice! They had it.
Yeah, VHS. I'm like, yeah, I fucking love that movie. So
wow.
She always takes care of me for my birthday. So
good job.
So good job, daughter.
I mean, a full-ass adult. I don't know.
Yeah, full-ass fucking pregnant, almost to be mother. Yeah, thank you. Fucking full-ass woman. So it was a pleasure, again, this month doing it with you, sir. Doing it.
Oh, yeah. No, I think our objective was to bring movies that, kind of went away. I feel like we did that. I feel like we both got to watch some shit that we probably wouldn't have watched and probably wouldn't have covered on the show, except maybe we probably wouldn't have done The Hitcher, but it was fun to cover some stuff we don't normally cover. And
sure.
Kind of give an insight to what we, things we actually really, really like, other than, shit like Las Vegas Serial Killer that we watch.
Totally. I'm done with fucking tiny fucking creature movies, by the way.
Yeah, no more hobgoblins. No more
fuck,
munchies.
Bro. Munchies,
so
hobgoblins.
Ghoulies. Just kidding.
No,
No, I'm good.
Dude, okay. I might compile a list for next year already. Okay, I might start compiling a list, and it might be classics that I've never seen. Okay. It doesn't necessarily have to be classics you've never seen, because I think it gets really tough us trying to coordinate movies that both of us never watched.
Yeah.
So maybe what we could do is next year we'll split it 50-50. I'll pick 15, you pick 15, and we'll pick one together that we haven't seen.
Okay.
And it'll be movies that we have never seen, maybe, because I don't want to get like, well, I've never seen it, or I have seen it, I don't want to see it. Because I could literally pick 15 classics that I've never seen. One of them being Chud. Chud.
Yeah, I could pick a few too, for sure.
Yeah,
it definitely gets harder as much as, trying to find two. And then, we wind up digging into like, I don't know, pretty deep in the thing. So I guess the upside to that next year is the fact that we'll get to watch some stuff the other loves that are classics that,
Yeah, and I'm going to fucking make a list now, and I'm going to make a promise to myself that I am not going to watch any of these movies. And then let's look at the calendar. Let's bear with this, audience. We're doing this live or recorded with you, which is fucking great.
Yeah, I can think of at least 5 right now that I haven't seen.
I am going to put in my calendar, sir, September 25th I'm going to send you this list that I might compile by the end of the day today. And I'm going to
fresh in your brain.
And I am going to swear to myself, I am not going to watch these movies for the.
And I'll do the same, sir.
Okay, I'm going to pick 15, and then that month we'll be like, we'll pick one together for our 31st movie, and but we gotta wait. Like, we don't know what's fucking gonna come out and fucking make a fucking bang in the next year, right?
Right. Yeah.
So we'll do that. So
Tune in, kiddies.
Tune in. But I am gonna do this, and I'm gonna commit to myself. And do you know how far ahead of the game I'm gonna be with this? Like, instead of last minute fucking making a list. This is
for sure.
I'm going to be so prepped. This is going to be great. But the 25th, I'm going to put it in my calendar. Fucking Texas, list to Xander. So, again, it was a pleasure fucking doing this for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Hope y'all had as much fun as we did. It was a little different, but we liked it.
Lots of fun. Lots of fun. So, shout out to everybody that listens to this. Shout out to Gregmo. Shout out to Nudie Neil Moy for the awesome birthday gifts. Appreciate you as always, Gregmo. I still need to cut into that cake, and I'm going to probably do it after my wife makes bacon and eggs and potatoes. Who needs donuts when you got a fucking cake from fucking Greg Mo Roberts?
That's right. And potatoes from the wife.
Yes. She makes good potatoes. So, all right. It's better than fucking eating this Whataburger hamburger that I got last night. That was on my nightstand all night. And, hey.
Ew.
I took a bite out of it already this morning, bro. I don't give a fuck. Fucking room temperature pizza, room temperature hamburger.
You're like, it's been here less than 12 hours. It's fine.
Oh, totally good, dude. Totally. I might even go fucking throw it in the air fryer for fucking 5 minutes.
Kill any of the bacteria that grow on it overnight.
See what's happened. All right, guys. Happy Halloween, and stay safe out there.
Yo.
Bye.
Good evening.
You've been listening to the Cemetery Gates podcast, featuring Android Virus and Xander Kane. Follow us on Twitter at Android Virus, at Xander_Kane, and at Cemetery Gates 66.